how y'all doing today? Welcome to the Tea Factory podcast. So we are going to hop on here real quick and talk about Drew Sidora, Britt Eady, and Monique from the Real Housewives of Potomac. So I'm not reviewing the episode on this one because I know that's what I mainly do, but we're just going to talk about them, stuff that's on the blog, stuff that I seen on the neighborhood talk. Shout out to them. You know, we like to cite our sources here. And so shout out to them and just things about them that I wanted to cover because, you know, I do cover housewives. Okay, so before we get started, we're going to go over the Copyright Act. So Section 107 of the Copyright Act, there is allowance for fair use of copyrighted material for such purposes as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research as examples of activities that may qualify as fair use. Okay, and with that being said, let's go ahead and get it started. Okay, so first we're going to start with Drew Sidora. Her husband, RHOP, exposed Drew Sidora. He alleges that she had cheated on him with Ty, and then she had also been talking to Black. Now if she's talking to Black, I mean, that's no big deal because they're going through a divorce and their divorce is almost final. But Ty, I guess he can cry about that because apparently that was probably before he filed for divorce, because he's saying that's the reason why he filed for divorce, is because he found out she was messing with Ty. But so I'm going to read this, that post that the neighborhood talk made. It says, this is what Raph wrote. It says, the love and support was real. I wasn't just a husband. I was her partner, her investor, music producer, a strategist behind the scenes. I poured into Drew's career before and during RHOP, helping shape key moments like the autograph with LaToya and the infamous dog bone with Fatima. Our mission was clear: to turn Drew into a household name, build businesses, and create a lasting legacy for our kids. I told Drew several times over the years to show up authentic and make reality TV match our reality. Unfortunately, here we are not, but nevertheless, I wish her well. Okay. So he's saying that she did mess with Ty. So I'm going to start with that one first. So he said she did mess with Ty, and he posts pictures of her and Ty. I'm not going to post them on here because I don't want to get striked or whatever. So there's pictures of Drew and Ty. It looks like Ty is like laying her hand on her shoulder, like it's not a hug, but just leaning in on her. And then there's another picture of Ty and Drew taking a selfie together. And so, I mean, it does look like it could be intimate. But then he also posted some text messages between Drew Sidora and Ty as proof to his suspicion that she was having an affair with Ty. So, and he said that is the reason why he filed for divorce, is because he found out that she was having an affair with Ty. Now, Drew has, she has been lying. Every time they ask her about Ty, she will not admit it. She would always change the subject. And like I said before, if you listen to my other videos, Drew is never going to admit on camera if she messed with Ty or Black, because if she does, Rafa's gonna take everything, or half of everything, or get what he's trying to get in the divorce settlement. So she has to be very careful. So she's never gonna admit that, but once the divorce is final and everything is done and everything is shut, she might confess to something, but she still might not confess all the way because she doesn't want to look like a liar. But those of us who have been following Drew and know Drew know that she is a liar. I know that, I'm not going to say I know because I haven't talked to her, but from base what I said, in my opinion, I feel like she's lying. I feel like she did have an affair with Drew. Drew did have an affair with Ty. I do believe that, and she probably did mess with Black too. And I'm not trying to be Team Ralph, because I'm not Team Ralph, but I do believe him. Now, he also says the Tampa storyline was fabricated so Drew could keep her peach. I played the bad guy, so she would have a storyline and make a comeback as an actress, and it worked. But it was unexpected that she would cheat on me and lie, saying I cheated on her also. So now, as far as him cheating on her, I'm not gonna say that I believe him that he's never cheated on her, because I'm sure he probably has. He's a handsome man. And I'm sure he's got people in his DM. So if she's cheated on him, then he's cheated on her too. I believe that. But as far as Tampa being fabricated, I don't know if I believe that, because he probably did go to Tampa for something, and then he was like, oh, we'll just use it as a storyline. I don't know. Okay, I wasn't there. I don't know. But I will say, for when it comes to the Tampa story, I don't know if that's fabricated or not. That's hearsay, whatever they say. I don't care. But as far as Drew messing with Ty and Black, I can believe that, because there's text messages and there's pictures. So that's more believable. Okay, so, and Drew, she lies all the time. And we will see in this season. So basically, Ralph exposed his wife. He just put it all out there. He did not care. Pictures, text messages, and everything. And he says that Drew has been dealing with Black, been dating Black. She's always in the studio, so she could be. He's one of her producers. And then, if you remember in that one episode when Dennis said, I'm not the one who's screwing her, somebody else is. And Portia said, who? And he didn't say it right there on camera, but I'm sure he told Portia once the cameras were off. So I can believe that. So moving along from Drew Sidora being exposed by her husband, Ralph Pittman. Next we have Monique Samuels. Now Monique Samuels is returning to the Real Housewives of Potomac. She said that she was asked by Bravo 7 different times to return, but she always said no. So the reason why I have her on this exposed is because there were some people in the comments saying that she had said she would never return to the Real Housewives of Potomac. And if y'all remember, after she left the Real Housewives of Potomac, she was working with Carlos King, and she was doing Love and Marriage DC. She was actually the face of Love and Marriage DC, her and her husband. And she only did one season, and after that, she left Love and Marriage DC. And then her and Chris, her husband Chris, got a divorce. And so, I put her on this exposed because you said he was never going to come. Now you're coming. So you kind of look like a liar. But I will say this. She's happy that she's coming back. I am team Monique Samuels. She's beautiful. She's a beautiful sister, and I like her aura, her natural aesthetic, and the dreads and the oils and stuff. Just a beautiful sister. So I love her, and I'm glad that she's coming back to the show. So, and I don't know if she's going to talk about her relationship with or the divorce that she went through with her husband Chris. They might touch a little bit on that. Who knows? And there's also talks that Candace might be coming back. So Potomac is probably going to be good this year because they're going to have Monique coming back. Okay, she's not going to be back as full-time housewife. She's going to be a friend of the show. So she's going to be friend of the show. And so it's going to be interesting to see her with the girls. And then especially if Candace comes back. So that's that. Welcome back, Monique. So the next person we have on this picture on the thumbnail is Britt Eady. That's the next story. Now, Britt Eady, she had announced, it was announced that she was not going to be at the reunion, that she did not film the reunion. She was a no-call, no-show. And so everybody was freaked out about that, trying to figure out why was Britt a no-call, no-show, why she wasn't at the reunion. And then a couple days later, it came out that she was suing Bravo for $20 million, citing defamation of character, sexual harassment, hostile work environment, and whatever else she put on there. So she's suing Bravo for $20 million. And the audacity, because first of all, when she first came on there, from episode 1, you see her and Kenya having an exchange, and then about the ring. When Kenya asked her about the ring, from that moment on, she had it for Kenya. Like, she always kept Kenya's name in her mouth. It was always Kenya this and Kenya that. So then when we saw that episode with them being at the vault, and she got into it with Kenya, and she said she had a pow, then Kenya, to retaliate the next day or the next episode, has this picture at her grand opening for her salon, and she's asking, who's this hoe, basically, who's this hoe on this picture, and she's like, and this is Britt Eady. I don't think she said her name, to be honest with you, but so everybody led us to believe, well, we thought it was Britt Eady, but then come to find out, Britt is saying that it wasn't her. And so because it wasn't her, and she had all this anguish, and she was, they showed us scenes of her crying to her mom, to her husband, to Kelly and everybody else, how she was distraught, and she was hurt because she thought that the picture was of her that Kenya had posted at the party, of her giving fellatio to somebody. And then also the fact that so she thought it was her. Now to come out, they're saying it's not her. It's not even 100% that it's not her, but some reports are saying that wasn't her. I think Britt is saying that wasn't her. And then you have the TV show to let us to believe that it was her. So she may or may not have a case, but she's suing. So we're gonna see how that turns out. And then I don't know if you guys remember Don Juan, who is Candy Burris's manager. He's one of her employees. He's like her road dog, like her right hand man. So Candy's right hand man. He has his own YouTube channel. I think it's called Unapologetically. I forgot what it's something like that. But anyway, Don Juan said on his YouTube channel that on the episode that we just saw of Britt Eady, when they were all comforting Shamia, when Shamia got that bad news about Shiloh, and then Britt Eady was like, oh, I love you, I have your back, we're gonna take shots. That scene when she went over to the kitchen, and then on the island, she put her boobies on the island in the kitchen, and then they showed that part. But apparently what Don Juan is saying is, from his sources, that she actually got butt naked. She was bare and naked. She exposed herself. So Britt Eady exposed herself. Drew Sidora, RHOP exposes her. So it's like, anyway, so Britt Eady exposes herself to the whole staff. The camera people are mainly men. Most of the time the camera crew is men, and then of course the girls are right there. So how are you gonna sit here and sue somebody for sexual harassment when you're walking around here taking your clothes off like you're I don't know, like you're at a strip club or something, and so like you're a hot girl, a thought at the strip club. So I don't know, that was just hoish behaviors. Hoes do what hoes do. So I feel like, Britt, you have some nerves and some audacity to try to sue somebody for $20 million. And I feel like it's a money grab. And I hope you don't win. I'm sorry. I hope you don't win because it's a money grab. Now, I could see if you was out here like a churchy, innocent, weren't doing nothing, and they did something to you like that. And it really was defamation, then I would say, I hope you get every penny. But you had a mean, ugly spirit from the beginning. You were coming for Kenya every opportunity you got. And then I'm not saying what Kenya did was right at the opening of the salon. What Kenya did was wrong. There's no excuse for that. But then you also signed up for a reality TV show. So you got to be able to handle the good and the bad of the reality TV show. You can't turn around and sue for $20 million when your hands ain't clean. And then on top of that, you exposed yourself. You bare and naked. Like, we understand your brand is called Bare and Naked, but really you have to actually get bare and naked. So that's what, according to Wandon, that is what he allegedly, that is, so let me say allegedly too. According to Wandon, allegedly, per his sources, that's what they're saying, that she got butt naked in front of everybody, and then has the nerve and the audacity to turn around and sue Bravo for $20 million for sexual harassment. Make it make sense. So we will follow the story and see what happens. So exposed. These three women exposed. Monique for her lie exposed. Drew exposed by Ralph for having an affair with Ty and messing with Black, and her lying, saying she's, those people are just her friends. Britt Eady for exposing herself for being bare and naked. Y'all, thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. It doesn't hurt you. It's free. Comment and like the video. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next video.